Hello and welcome to Title Not Found, the show about everything and nothing. We don't really know what's going on. Hi, I'm Keegan,
Hi, I'm Stryder.
Hi, I'm Will.
and we are the trio here for you today to talk about whatever the fuck we talk about.
What do we talk about, Keegan, again?
Well, you see, I've got our generator here and I've run it, and we've got our question. So let's see where this goes. What is your morning routine?
Why doesn't Will start us off?
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Uh, to pretty much just sum mine up, I just wake up, get dressed, and that's it. That's literally I just go about my day.
Well, I'm glad you wake up.
That's a good thing. That
varies on day.
Varies on days. Jesus Christ.
I may wake up in 2 to 3 business days.
It's like a fucking like Amazon shipping tracker. Your will may arise from slumber within 2 to 3 business days.
Keegan, how about you?
How about
me? What is your morning routine looking like these days?
Oh God, it's hardly morning. It's like 11 o'clock or 10 o'clock. It's like I'm so nocturnal at this point because like I'm scheduled for work all 11 o'clock at the earliest. So like I'm working all through the afternoon and then staying up through half the night, and then I'm sleeping until I have to get up for work in the afternoon again. I've shifted my schedule a quarter of the way around the clock here. So generally it's like a groggy wake up, get dressed, and run out the door for work, man.
Okay.
I'm so shifted schedule. It's crazy.
So it's less of a morning routine and more of an afternoon routine.
Exactly. And somewhere in there is that like moment of fuck. I have work again. It's another day in paradise, I guess.
Hey, at least it's paradise. Better than the alternative.
Living the dream.
That's pretty much every generic "how's your day going?"
Yeah, every generic dead inside person's response to "Hey, how you doing?" It's living the dream.
Yup.
Well, I know no one asked, but my morning routine.
Actually, we did ask.
Yeah.
Well, my morning routine is a little bit more complicated than these simpletons over here, okay?
Did you just call me a fucking... No, I am a simpleton, you're right.
Getting up in the morning for me looks like about 6 a.m. And
Jesus.
Immediately starting off the day with either some like peanut butter on toast or something like that. Something to eat, something to get.
What is this, a school day?
Tract.
Yeah, like jeez.
And then I work for an hour on like D&D stuff so that I can make some cool campaigns.
I so need to block my time for D&D stuff. I have cool ideas and they've been sitting there for like a month and I haven't done anything with them.
D&D. Oh, by the way, how is your Ghostbusters campaign going, Keegan?
I have a new mechanic plan that I've been working on for like a month, and I have ideas, but they're not put down anywhere. Okay, they vaguely are, but not formal. They're not finished, and they need to be. They can be, but they're not. I don't make time.
Rough sketch of D&D.
Yeah. Players.
The rough outline. It's not even a genuine sketch.
Dude, players are like, man, I wonder what the DM has meticulously planned for us today. The DM, I have nothing, fuck!
That is the opposite of my DMing style.
I know,
I prepare for everything.
Opposite.
Literally everything? Because I will test that.
This man made a special magical item out of a crack pipe for an artificer in one campaign. He's prepared for most things.
Okay, then I have an idea next time I play with Stryder's campaign.
The secret to being prepared for everything is to not give the players everything they want, but most of the things they want.
Fair enough.
I treat DMing like improv, honestly. I'm just like, yes, and.
Yeah, fair enough, honestly.
And add some consequences to going to Disneyland.
Oh yeah, no, totally. You wanna swoon the police officer? Go for it. You have the night of your life. That won't come back to bite you in the ass later, probably.
Oh, Keegan, what was the name of your sister's campaign that we're both a part of?
Oh God, which one?
The newest one that we haven't been able to do for like 4 weeks.
I don't remember.
The one about Fantasy is about.
I can check.
Bad Group.
Yeah, the one with the mud people.
Yeah, the one with the mud people. That's probably my way to describe it.
Yeah.
1 second.
We have a whole Discord server dedicated to our stupid D&D. It's so great. I love it.
The Feuding Brothers campaign. Yes. That's right.
Yes. Yes, the Feuding Brothers. I love it.
I'm actually pretty excited for next session because I might actually be able to join.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Might.
That's sick. Let it be known that one of the highlights from session 1 of that campaign is, what are you guys gonna do on the beach? Make a big poopy castle. A poopy castle? 2 poopy castles.
And my personal favorite is a big succulent fish.
Oh yes, the large succulent fish.
So yeah, and now I have a counter for that.
Shoot. Big mouth Billy Bass. Sorry.
Not to shift the topic too much, but
that's only the premise of the show.
Not to shift the topic too much, but are there any other like kind of role play games that you guys have been interested in lately?
I actually do have one.
Yeah, me as well, actually. I was on the Punch Bowl of Join the Party, and it sounds really, really cool. So, Will, do you want to go first, or?
It's really basic, but the very first Fallout game, like I've been a fan of all the other ones.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, because that one's all like top down and shit, right?
It is indeed. It's like much more strategical than the other ones.
Gives me XCOM vibes mixed with like an old DOS text adventure.
Probably the best way to describe it is I spent 10 minutes trying to get out of a cave and trying to punch a rat. Kept missing, kept dying. Once I got out, I then found out 8 days had passed, and I almost
spent 8 days trying to punch a rat.
Yeah.
What is this, Pokemon?
It's a very interesting premise, and I actually really like it, but it is so weird. Like, I'm starting to get the hang of it, but...
Gotcha. Yeah, no, that's wild. Maybe honestly, those ones seem more interesting to me than the newer Fallout. So I kind of want to get into those. I don't know. I'm an old heart, but the tabletop thing was on the Punch Bowl of Join the Party most recently to when we're recording this. I don't know if there will be another by the time this comes out. But
July 13th.
Thanks for dating that.
Yep. Now he has to get it out in like 2 days or so. Otherwise, it's gonna be dated.
Yeah. Fuck. But Sentinel Comics. So the idea behind this whole tabletop system is, what if during the 1940s, when it was like peak golden era comics, Marvel and DC, there was a third company, Sentinel. And so they've gone ahead and they've created this lore behind this comic company with, like, you know, the different writers and the different heroes, you know, from the 40s to present day. You know, in the 70s, this one hero had a thing for like coffee or something like that, you know, like little things like that. And so you play as all these comic characters, and there's like many multiverses where every tabletop game is canon, but they're all sprout off of this set canon for Sentinel Comics that they've created. So it's like a superhero tabletop that you can play, and there's a card game and a tabletop RPG system and all kinds of crazy stuff. And I don't really know a ton about it, even though I listened to like an hour and a half of them being interviewed about it. You know, like I picked up enough where I get the idea, but I can't sit here and really explain it. But it seems so very cool, and they're not like... They took the time in designing their heroes. It's not like, oh, here's Superman with the you know, the print label scrubbed off. There's no barcode now, so it's totally not Superman. You know, like they took the time to create these characters where, like, you can try to explain them with other heroes, but you'll always be like, well, this one's kind of like Deadpool, but not Deadpool. You know, Deadpool if he was like Batman, you know, and like so a little bit much... and like a little bit of Doctor Strange, and like
Deadpool but rich.
Or like this one's like, you know, he's kind of like Doctor Strange if Doctor Strange was really into music and didn't inherently do magic, you know, like you can try really hard to explain it that way, and they do have hints and bits from other heroes because inevitably there will be crossovers. Superheroes are and comics in general are sort of a trade of archetypes, you know. There's, you know, the big strong man and everything and all that jazz, you know, but at the end of the day, it really does feel like, you know, if you were none the wiser, you could probably convince someone that Sentinel Comics was a real company then. because they've taken so much time to create lore and heroes and ideas that feel unique, and it's just really cool. So I want to get into that. There's a good chance that once we're kind of done with my Ghostbusters tabletop campaign, I'll probably be like, hey, you guys want to try a superhero system? Because that's another really cool thing I want to introduce. No. Everyone will be like, no, Keegan, you're a nerd. And I'll go, damn, I thought I was safe from being called a nerd with my D&D friends. And they'll go, no.
Never.
I was actually about to say, I'm really not into the stereotype. I was just going to straight up say I'm not into nerd stuff normally. But no, I'm not into like comics or anything like that. But that actually would sounds like a really interesting idea.
Yeah, I know. It seems really cool, so I want to get into it, and I think it could be a lot of fun. Also, I am really into comics as I look across the room at my book my book that's a compilation of like the first 50 issues of Stan Lee and Ditko Spider-Man comics.
Huh. So, I have a very kind of controversial opinion about superhero comics, and I personally think DC is better than Marvel.
Ooh, are we doing this right now?
Oh no.
Don't get me wrong, there are some characters from don't get me wrong, I love both of them. They're both great.
Okay, yeah.
But I just actually slightly prefer. It's not even like a very strong preference.
Gotcha. Okay. So we don't have to. We're of the same mind
chill.
then. Yeah, we don't have to go to war about this. Yeah.
You probably like Marvel a little bit more than DC, and I like DC a little bit. Marvel.
Exactly. Yes. Exactly.
But we both love them dearly.
Yeah. No. I think I prefer Marvel just because I grew up on that sort of stuff, and it's got my favorite hero. It's got Spider-Man, and Doctor Strange is really cool, and Cloak and Dagger, and fucking Iron Man's dope, and Captain America. But then I respect DC. You got the goddamn Green Arrow. You got the Flash. He's cool as shit, dude.
Oliver Queen. What was Flash's name?
Wally West. Well, there's been a bunch of them, but Wally West is one of them.
Was Wally? Oh wait, that's right. Wally West was one.
He was the animated one, I think.
There's another one. And another reason that I love DC, and I'm I don't know if this is a very shared opinion, but Netflix has done a really good job on the DC
shows? Yeah.
I
need
shows.
To watch those. I do.
Which, yeah.
Building off of it. Oh, what were you gonna say?
I'm about to drop something that even to a DC fan is gonna sound ridiculous. You ready? Aquaman kind of tight as hell though. I love him. He's dope.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Fucking Aquaman, cool.
If the ocean wasn't such a place where nobody exists, I feel like that would actually be
honestly, like Aquaman, I like his old school comic design. I think he's really cool. It's just he didn't really nobody ever really world builded on him and gave him stakes and stuff in the ocean. They needed take the time stop. I don't know, because from what I've seen, they really try to do the Aquaman's part on land, part in ocean. Nah, just fucking put that goddamn man in Atlantis. I want to see manatees duking it out with goddamn sharks and Aquaman. Guys, what the hell? And there's like a scuba diver supervillain. I want that. That sounds awesome.
That would be pretty cool.
It's just that one guy from the.
It's the guy from the SpongeBob movie with the metal boots.
YouTube little clips. Because there's a guy there that spearfishes, and that can be the villain.
Yeah, sure, dude. That's let Aquaman fight some real deep sea villains, man. Give this guy like an anglerfish to fight or something crazy that.
Oh, that would actually be sick.
By the way, there is a already kind of aquatic villain, kind of Venom kind of style villain, in DC, and his name's King Shark.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, but
he's literally
give more of that, more than just the anti-Aquaman. Let's get a whole system.
Yeah. Although every DC character has hero has their literal opposite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have Reverse Flash.
For sure. Yeah. Lex Luthor, Reverse Flash.
I would have thought more so Bizarro. Superman as the
that's fair.
The true foil.
That's true. Bizarro Superman exists. I just think Lex Luthor because he's a mortal guy who's manipulating technology and shit to be really strong and rival Superman in strength and stuff, and have kryptonite, that direct weakness. That's like his whole shtick.
I was more referring to like same power set even.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. Then Bizarro's Superman, Reverse Flash.
Reverse Flash. You have effectively Joker.
I was gonna say Joker effectively is like Reverse Batman because he uses wacky like gadgets and stuff and hand-to-hand fights. He doesn't really have superpowers. He's just a crazy bitch.
And so is Batman, really.
Exactly, yeah. Batman's like trained in martial arts and just like uses gadgets, and Joker's not trained in martial arts, but he has crazier gadgets and is a crazier person.
Yeah. I would say though that Green Arrow is a cooler powerless millionaire than Batman.
Honestly, I think most of the other powerless millionaires are cooler than Batman. That's why I'm not really a Batman guy. Like, I love his villains. Don't get me wrong. Mr. Freeze, the goddamn Penguin, Scarecrow. Like,
Mr. Freeze, I think, is actually shared with the Flash.
Oh, sweet. That makes sense. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I love, and the Joker's great. Obviously, he's iconic. But like Batman himself, I don't know. He's fine.
Really quickly doing.
No, go.
Go for it.
Oh no, you say what you were gonna say because I was gonna go back a little bit.
Oh, okay. Well, I think Batman he's just a little bit too edgy for my liking.
Exactly. Yeah. Totally.
Oliver Queen, aka Green Arrow, is a great kind of balance of edgy backstory with, like actually kind of cool abilities.
Gotcha.
And another really important thing that you have to remember about the Green Arrow is he is Slade's, if you know who that is, Slade's villain. And Slade is my favorite villain in
I thought Slade was the Teen Titans villain. I thought that was
technically, at least in one rendition, Slade is actually kind of like, what's it called? They actually know each other and they fight each other specifically.
Okay, gotcha.
And I think they use that rendition in the show on Netflix, and that's like a really cool rendition of Slade.
Okay, gotcha.
But Slade actually has powers, which is cool.
This is all.
He's actually very Deadpool-esque.
Gotcha.
I feel
just
like
a cooler color palette. Like, don't get me wrong, red and black is pretty dang cool.
Yeah.
Orange and black, though.
Yeah. Honestly, Slade makes me think of the Taskmaster.
Task.
Yeah. Like, they don't really have similar powers, but for some reason, Slade's design makes me think of the Taskmaster. He's been like a general Marvel villain. He's been in Spider-Man a couple times. He's generally wrapped up in Cloak and Dagger stuff. But he can mimic any ability just by seeing it.
Huh.
That's why he's like the Taskmaster, because he does it all. He does it all in cunning. He like rigs stuff up so he can observe, and then he learns their abilities and is able to shoot it back at the heroes. And you always gotta be. He's always a step ahead. So he's generally a Spider-Man villain, but he gets wrapped up in some Cloak and Dagger stuff on occasion, and like. It's always he's kind of I think of the idea where DC has kind of like the antithesis of the heroes. I think Taskmaster is the antithesis of Spider-Man, where Spider-Man, at least in the comics, a lot of his fights are won because he outwits his opponent. He usually gets his ass kicked the first time around. He can't really brute force it. He has to be 2 steps ahead. Well, Taskmaster is 3 steps ahead. He sees you do something once, and he's like, okay, cool, I got it.
Spider-Man is your classic Power Rangers motif with like you'll lose the first fight but then win the war.
Yeah. With that said, though, the Power Rangers and Spider-Man have very different tactics for how they do things.
Oh yeah,
because the Power Rangers are like, yo, we're gonna do this through teamwork and brute force. Well, no, what I'm saying is like
and spider webs.
in a fight, the Power Rangers, whether they're on foot or in like the Megazord, they will just trade blows. They'll get punched in the face and then swing a right hook, and they'll just do that back and forth until they win. Spider-Man he's hella strong, hella durable, but he has such strong supervillains that he knows he can't do that. So he'll outwit them, you know. Shocker's got new electricity, he'll fucking ground out and insulate his suit so Shocker can't do anything. The Vulture's flying, he's gonna coat his wings in webs. Doc Ock has lightning reflexes, let's cut off his vision. Like, you know, Spider-Man will not trade blows because he can't.
Well, I mean, he probably can. Have you seen the first Sony's movie? Like he was ripped apart by a train. Let's be honest.
That's Spider-Man 2, but yeah.
Is that Spider-Man 2?
That is Spider-Man 2. That is Sony's, yeah. But like, yeah, even in the comics, he's like really durable. Yeah, sure, he can go hit for hit, but his villains are so strong and durable too that he doesn't want to and arguably can't. For like Doc Ock. That was the whole arc of that. Like Sandman and Doc Ock, and Venom. Their whole shtick was he could not trade blows with them. That's why he needed to go around, because they were faster and stronger and smarter, or a variation of those three. You know,
maybe not smarter.
A variation of those three. You know, that's kind of his shtick. You know, or Mysterio. You know, he's able to cause all those hallucinations and shit in Spider-Man. So he's. That's my favorite hero, so that's why I love him. I can sit here and talk about this all day, but that's kind of why I think Taskmaster is kind of the anti-Spider-Man, and he's definitely one of my favorite Spider-Man villains. Because he's essentially just, you know, Spider-Man, but he's another step ahead.
So before we completely go off from this topic, I do have one more question about it.
Shoot.
Doesn't Sandman at one point become a hero?
He might. There's so many fucking Spider-Man comic continuities. That's like that's why the movie Spider-Verse exists, because for years now there's been Spider-Verse comics. There's been Ultimate Spider-Man, which was Miles Morales, which they did him dirty, really. I'm so glad that he got a PS5 game, he got his own movie, because like in the comics, you know, the Ultimate Spider-Man comics, Miles Morales very rarely got to do something that only he could do. He always had his electric powers and to go invisible, but he never used them. And he had Genki, and he never nothing ever happened with any of that. He essentially was just in Peter Parker scenarios. And it was like, damn, they did him dirty like that. So I'm glad he got his own stuff. But 2077 and the what is it? The Justice? No, not Justice Force. What is it? Freedom Force? The Future Foundation. There we go. There's so many. The Future Foundation. You know, there's Bombastic Bagman when he joined the Fantastic Four. There's so many universes for Spider-Man that I am sure there is one where the Sandman's a hero. I mean, there's one where Venom's the hero. There's Agent Venom.
Yeah.
So I
almost wasn't necessarily originally a hero in that. From what I remember, he was more of a renounced villain.
Yeah, but you know what? I'm sure there's one, because there's so many continuities, and I know I can't keep up with all of them. So there's got to be one I don't know about where that's true.
All that I can remember is the scene where he's on the beach and he's playing volleyball.
Oh, that must be awesome, actually, because he's Sandman.
But he's also the net.
Oh, that's sick. Yeah.
So he's playing, but he's also the net. So
yeah.
It was a pretty funny thing. Okay.
Anyway, yeah, Will, for a little bit you've been trying to circle back and stray off, so let's jump there.
So really quickly, it was just I remember hearing something about Stryder. You said that DC did a really good job about their Marvel, or not Marvel,
about their Netflix shows.
Yeah, their Netflix shows. I was actually going to bring up that I really enjoyed The Punisher.
That's Marvel.
I know. I was about to say
that one yet. I haven't watched much of that.
I haven't watched any of the Netflix hero shows. I haven't watched Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. or the Green Arrow or the Flash or the Punisher. I haven't watched any of those, and I keep hearing they're so good.
Yeah. Luke Cage. I don't know why, but I felt like that one could have been done a little bit better.
Yeah. I've not watched that one. Power Man's such an underused Marvel character. He was in the one Spider-Man cartoon, and now he has his Netflix show. You know, so I don't know how good it is, but he is definitely not a super defined character. You know, his name's Power Man.
Yeah, he actually only has one power that can be utilized in multiple ways.
Gotcha.
And it's invulnerability, effective. Well, not invulnerability, but into being his skin is indestructible.
Yeah, he's a super buff boy for sure. Like he's powerful, he's strong, but like I don't know, people don't use him, so he doesn't really get defined, and he just has that one multi-use power, and rather than like a bunch of like he can do this, he can do that. It's like, well, he's Power Man. He does Power Man things. He's Luke Cage.
However, his like being indestructible, like his body being basically indestructible.
That's a big deal.
Give him well, it's not just a big deal, but it also gives him some other minor powers.
That's true. Yeah,
like,
for sure.
Increased physical strength. I mean, he could throw you out the window that's like 30 feet away.
Yeah, I mean, he can't tear a ligament or pull a muscle.
That's true.
He's indestructible.
His endurance is that reminiscent of like, what's his name? Captain America. I don't know why I forgot his name. Kind of embarrassing to be completely honest.
That's alright.
Also, Captain America. This is a what's it called? A unpopular opinion. Captain America is overrated.
How so?
Like he gets all this like, hey, I'm such a big deal, but his power set is like it's okay. He doesn't run out of stamina.
He can run slightly faster.
He can run slightly faster. He's basically he has a greater endurance and slightly enhanced. He's basically a worse Slade.
He's quite literally a superhuman.
Yeah.
Like he does what humans do, but better.
Yeah.
Runs
I also
faster, jumps higher, hits harder.
I wish he had a bigger shield. That is something that I wish he had a little bit, because his legs are so exposed.
I mean, that's true, but honestly, the amount of times he's used it as a shield, and the amount of times where it's been like to cover his whole body, and the amount of times it's been to block a specific hit. The specific hit happens so much more often, and then he throws his shield a lot more. He probably throws his shield more than he uses it to block, honestly. That's like his whole shtick.
That is fair.
It's a very big frisbee.
Don't they like make a joke about that at one point?
Oh, probably. Especially with the MCU. You know how many times him and Stark have started going back and forth, and Stark being Stark, the snarky asshole of the Marvel universe, ends up beating him out.
It was another person who was like supposed to be a villain.
Oh, probably one of his villains too. Yeah.
I
don't think that's a Red Skull thing. I'm not.
No,
too
it isn't
familiar.
a Red Skull.
I'm not too familiar with Captain America stuff. I'll be honest.
Neither am I, honestly.
I probably know more about fucking Nova than I do Captain America.
I know about Nova. I don't know much about him.
I've read a couple of his comics. He's pretty cool. He flies around, shoots lasers, cocky.
Kind of like me.
Yeah.
Just minus the lasers thing.
Well, we don't know that. Have you ever tried?
Well, I mean, I've used a laser pointer before. Does that count?
Yeah, see, you're Nova. Basically Nova.
And I can't say that I haven't flown because I've been in a plane.
There we go. See? You are... Okay, on that note...
I am the Walmart Nova.
I've got a great idea. What superhero do you think you're the most like?
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm asking the heavy-hitting questions here.
Ooh. I'm going to actually see how brutally honest I can be with myself here.
Yeah, I know.
Give me a second to think about that one.
All right. Will, do you have any ideas?
I know basically no superheroes.
Aw, bummer, drummer.
I mean, I generally don't like superheroes or anything.
Dang, that's a bummer.
Yeah.
Okay, I can't think of one hero, by the way. I can come up with 3 that I share personality traits from.
Okay.
And that is the like the Torch.
The
like
Human
his
Torch.
general like ability to just kind of get annoyed really quickly.
He gets annoyed quickly, but he's very showboaty and in your face.
And Mr. Fantastic's just general good mood.
Mm-hmm.
And just Nova's cockiness.
For sure, yeah, totally. I honestly, I think the reason, Nova's cockiness, the Human Torch really, at least in the comics, he has a lot of that too. Which yeah. Honestly, I feel like you as the Human Torch makes so much sense.
Yeah, just give me ice powers instead, because I don't.
That's true. You don't really like the Heat, but like I think if we're equating to heroes, I think that one works really well.
But don't get me wrong. Whenever we play any video game, I can bring the Heat.
Oh, all right. I see how it be. Honestly, personally, I don't think I have a good answer to this. Maybe The Thing, on the note of Fantastic Four, I think The Thing maybe.
I think that's pretty fitting.
Or Iron Fist maybe, because Zen out on it.
Actually, the Zenning part, like combining Thing with the Iron Fist Zen out.
Impulsive, a little childish, but really, really capable of Zenning out. Yeah.
Yeah.
So somewhere between Iron Fist and The Thing.
Just yesterday, you like in the conversation, mid-conversation, you just like left. And you were still there, but like mentally not.
Oh yeah, no, I reached that like head empty true nirvana very unintentionally a lot. Yeah, no, okay, so that makes sense. Honestly, I think Will, you give me like what's the name? Give me Robin vibes.
Really?
Or like Nightwing.
Which one though?
Yeah, please don't tell me Teen Titans Go.
No. I'm gonna say like Nightwing, that Robin.
Oh.
Well,
I don't know anything about him, but I'll do my research.
I think somewhere in like that Bat family larger continuum, you're one of the many Robins, and I think Nightwing might be the one. I don't know a ton about that though, so like,
Yeah.
I just know who Nightwing is. I don't know what he's all about.
Exactly. Yeah. I don't know.
Like I said, Robin and Superman and like the Teen Titans the Titans in general. I'm not too much paying attention to them.
Yeah, Justice League and the Titans. You're not really about that.
Yeah. Not to say that like. Honestly, Robin is more cool than Batman, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's facts. Honestly, I prefer the Titans to the Justice League. Like, I know I was talking up Aquaman earlier, and I think the Flash is really cool, and like Wonder Woman's dope. But like Cyborg, Beast Boy, Raven, any of the variants of Robin minus Go.
The most powerful one has to be Raven.
You don't talk about that.
Starfire, like those are cool fucking characters, man. Kid Flash. Kid Flash is cool. I know he's only sometimes included in the Titans, but he has been, so I'm counting him. Like those are cool fucking characters.
Now I know there's a continuity where Kid Flash doesn't actually have friction resistance, so he burns up whenever he runs really fast.
Oh my god, okay. No, there's two implications there. One, your feet have to get sore like crazy. Two, chafing.
Yeah.
Like what? like in spandex? Oh my god, what is he doing? Like he just put a bottle of baby powder in both legs of his super suit? Like what is he doing about that?
What can you do at that point? Just go naked.
No. Like he burns up.
Like that's what he's just gonna never run, I guess.
Well, unlike like the Flash, who has his friction resistant suit, just so that it doesn't burn off of him, because unlike Kid Flash, Flash has like friction resistance, but Kid Flash actually needs it. Yeah, he is nothing without the suit.
If you're nothing without this suit, you shouldn't have it.
For Kid Flash, I would argue otherwise.
Shoutouts to the MCU, bro.
Shoutouts to MCU. Rip Iron Man. No spoilers, though,
I think it's too late for that.
How long has
God rest his soul.
Endgame been out?
Endgame's been out for a little bit.
It's been out for.
It's been out long enough.
2 years.
Yeah, it's been out long enough.
One second, I need to look that up.
It was a pre Backstreet Boys reunion tour movie.
Pre-panoramic.
Pre-panoramic. Yeah.
Guys, April 26th, 2019, just about 2 years ago, I was right on that.
Yeah, a little over 2 years ago, exactly. So like it's whatever. I think we're safe to, God rest us all.
Yeah.
Honestly, on that note, something I really want in the MCU. A lot of people have been complaining, that Spider-Man's kind of been like Iron Man Jr. in the MCU. I've really enjoyed it. I think it's been a fun...
I have too.
I think it's been a different take on the character that I have fun. Like if they did that throughout everything, like the comics, the games, everything, I'd be like, okay, this is bullshit. But I think that's a fun way to do Spider-Man movies without doing what Sony tried twice already. But what I really hope is that'll open us up to the comic universe. And technically, Deadpool's in this comic universe where Parker Industries is a thing and the Iron Spider is a thing. And we did get some Iron Spider in Infinity War and Endgame.
About to say.
So, like, I want more of that, though. I want more Iron Spider. I want Parker Industries. I want that. That sounds awesome.
Kill mode is too powerful.
Instant kill mode? Yeah.
Yeah, instant kill mode.
But it's
overpowered in the best way possible.
Exactly. I really, essentially, I just want like high tech, living his best life Spider-Man. I think that'd be a nice change of pace to see in film because we've seen the origin story, we've seen the struggling Spider-Man.
Yeah.
We've seen fix this damn door. We've seen it. It's done. We got it. Broke Spider-Man. We've got hundreds of comics. Keep doing those comics because they work. I love them. But as far as in film goes, or in games too, those are good. You know, PS4, PS5, those are good games.
Doesn't Iron Man have a kid?
Yeah, exactly. In the MCU, Iron Man has a kid, and Pepper Potts had like her own suit there. So I'm wondering if it's gonna be like, you know, she's gonna be like an Iron Woman, or if we're gonna get Iron Heart like in the comics. Because
I think Iron Man is the coolest out of the MCU heroes, personally.
Gotcha. But I don't know. I really do want to see like Parker Industries Spider-Man. I want to see living his best life, rich Spider-Man for just like once, because we've only had a few comics where like we've kind of seen that. I want some movies with that. I want to see him really, really thrive and live his best life. And you don't have to take away from the fact that he struggles. You know, like so far they've done a good job with like making his villains really, really, you know, he has to really think about it, and they really are strong and like fuck with him. He can still be a stupid kid, but like, you know, let's see him thrive a little. Let's see him have. I kind of want to see
MCU Spider-Man inherit some of the money that Tony Stark has.
Exactly, yeah, because like in Far From Home,
or his business.
In Far From Home, we see him using some of that like tech, and you know, Aunt May's backing him up, and he's got Happy backing him, and like that's really cool to me, and I want to see more of that. Like I want to see this developed, you know, this Spider-Man who has the tech, has the backing, has the opportunity to do more and be more than the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. And there is nothing wrong with your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. That's who I fell in love with. That's why he's my favorite hero, you know? Like, you know, that's what got me into comics. Obviously, I love friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. I don't know, I think it'd be neat to see him be more involved with you know, like the tech side. He's always been a genius. Let him wield that. Give him the backing. Let's really see how smart and how great of an inventor and an engineer Peter Parker is.
Yeah, I like this.
I don't know. I'm a crazy motherfucker. Maybe. I'm yet to meet one that can outsmart Bullet. Team Fortress 2, what a game. Speaking of games, what games have you guys been playing recently? What's going on?
Boy, finally a conversation that I can actually talk in.
Yeah, I figured we've been going on like a 20-minute rant about DC and Marvel. I figured I'd give you a chance to go on a 20-minute rant.
Yeah, all right. So, pretty much, well, at least personally, I've been playing, well, I just got finished playing Hotline Miami 2 and Hotline Miami 1. Great games. Pretty difficult. That's just because
it's very old school arcadey, and I'm actually kind of interested.
Yeah, I'd honestly say give it a shot because you have the brain capacity to do it. I don't, but I somehow managed my way through it.
I was gonna say you clearly do because you beat them both.
Yeah, and great stories. I've also been playing Payday 2 with some friends.
Yeah.
A bit of a weird one, a series that nobody talks about anymore. Sniper Elite 4.
Oh yeah, Sniper. I think I have Sniper Elite 2 on the PS2. I always forget that series exists.
Yeah, me too. Until I was like, I want to snipe things, and there's a survival mode in it, which I love survival sort of game modes. So
yeah.
And of course, the the interesting game that probably should play more, Omori.
Oh yeah, Omori. Yeah.
Can you tell me a little bit about that game? I've never heard
of
it.
It's a psychological horror, but not in the sense of like Doki Doki Literature Club or Franbo or Five Nights. It presents itself as this very like cutesy top-down RPG, almost like old school, Final Fantasy 3 or Pokemon Leaf Green, Dragon Quest type game, and as time goes on, it kind of it treads grounds that I would say are very like heavily, for a lot of people, heavily triggering, and plays with the player's mindset and emotions in a way that that has been in the past under scientific experimentation context been considered inhumane.
Okay.
It does it lightly, so you're not you're not feeling the effects of experiments in the past have caused their subjects to feel, but it toys with it just enough to kind of mess with you, and like it's really good about getting into your head. I think is what I'm trying to say.
And if I'm being honest, might get hate for this. So far, I haven't really been enjoying it because I don't really enjoy RPG games. Well, not necessarily that, but
old school RPGs, JRPGs.
Old school RPGs. Yeah, I don't enjoy JRPGs. So I was really expecting something where turn, because that's where it really interests me. It's like in those moments where I was like genuinely a bit scared.
That was probably for.
Yeah, that was what I thought I was getting into, but then like cooled down, and I haven't seen anything since. And
yeah, well, fair enough. I think that's part of why it's like not like, oh man, never play this because it's gonna like traumatize you as if you were in an inhumane science experiment. Is they do it very on and off. It's kind of that like sense of insecurity of like, what the fuck was that? Why is everything normal? And as time goes on, they get more and more extreme, or like will use counter examples to show you like what has changed in your mindset. It's really cool, I think, personally, but yeah, you definitely have to be like, I want to play a JRPG to really get through that and experience it all.
If I'm being honest,
I think the story's there, but like, if you're not into JRPGs, then definitely watch someone play it if you really want to get that experience, because it's a JRPG. It certainly is.
I honestly, but the sad part is, I really want to love this game. And I mean, I have 2.9 hours, so I'm just barely on the brink of not being able to refund it, but I still can. But I'm still teetering on the edge.
You're between playing it more or not and refunding it before you can't.
Yeah, because like if I do refund it, I possibly miss out on a game I might kind of like.
I mean, I guess that's what playthroughs are for, though. Like you can.
Yeah. Honestly, I might do that because then I have an extra $20 to do whatever I want with.
Yeah, so that might be the move.
Actually, funny enough, I can actually rant about another thing. Haha.
Haha.
So while you guys were talking about what's this?
Comics.
Talking about comics. I was looking at my Steam recommended, and I saw a game called Receiver 2.
Ooh, tell me more.
You guys know me. I am very into guns, and this game, it isn't really that much of a first-person shooter, really, but it simulates literally every single working part of the gun.
Oh,
that's cool.
That's wild.
Yeah, and like if you don't turn on the safety, you can occasionally accidentally shoot yourself. And
Yikes.
And like I just shot myself. Yeah, I love that.
A guy who shoots himself in the foot. I love that. Yeah. I'm not happy that he got a bullet in the foot, but his reaction's so gold.
Yeah, from what I understand, he's good.
Yeah, yeah, like I'm sure he's okay. I'm sure he got the medical attention he needed. I haven't heard anything about him dying, but like, it's just the reaction where like instead of like screaming bloody murder, he just stops and just yells, "I just shot myself." Like it's almost like he's disappointed in himself.
Yeah.
Like he's like, how did I fucking do this?
Yeah. I love that. And something good is there's been time for them to develop since the first one. There really a lot of people were like, this isn't that good, but because it was like the graphics, there wasn't really a story. But that's partially because it was made for a 7-day game festival.
Oh wow, yeah, no, that's impressive actually.
And so now they've had time and they developed another one outside of the 7-day time constraint. I'm actually
that might be worth getting into, yeah.
Yeah, and you see, I bought a Mort for $20, so.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, that might be the move because again, you're certain you're not really a JRPG guy, and you're not really having fun on the downtime between what makes Omori so very Omori and great, and so it might be worth experiencing through a non-active participant medium. I'm sure you could find a playthrough, and I've got a really cool psych of play analysis on the game you might want to look into, because I think in concept and in story it's a really cool game. So like that might be the route for you to experience Omori, and then you get yourself a game that is going to be more fun as a game, as an active participant experience for you.
Yeah.
Whereas I think Omori for you is you're much more in it for the inactive participant, the story.
Yeah. I really couldn't have said it better myself. And I'm definitely going to have to find a no commentary playthrough of it.
Yeah.
Because I don't,
You're not into Let's Players?
No, well, I'm very actually, funny enough, into other Let's Players. Like, if you've ever heard, he was fairly small a bit ago, but he's like majorly spiked. His name is Zach Beal TV.
Okay.
I've heard of it.
Yeah, he's his biggest inspirations are like Corey and some of the other Let's Players like that.
Gotcha.
And he's fucking hilarious, man.
Gotcha. I'm really into Let's Players, but I'm into like the folks that have been around for a while and haven't really changed much or are inspired by those people. So I'm in on like Proton John, Chugga Conroy, Josh Jepson, fucking the Game Grumps, the Super Beard Brothers. Like, these like they do it for a living, but they're not like top of the boards, like constantly trying to game the system. They're like, I'm just gonna do what I do, and it's gonna be good, like. I dig those like mellow, like they're in it because they want to share this game with you,
Yeah, that's actually sort of what I feel like is Zach Beal is like,
Yeah, for sure.
He always ends off the video with like, "I love you guys, and you guys can do whatever you put your minds to," just like stuff like that. You can tell he like genuinely loves his fans. Like I remember I tuned into one of his like first live streams. And he, like, when he noticed how many people were, like, he accidentally name dropped his mom's YouTube channel, and she went from, like, 4 subscribers to, like, 50.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, he started almost crying on camera because, like...
That's so wholesome. I love that.
Yeah, it was so nice.
That's so cool. I do really like that. That's awesome.
He's a great YouTuber, man. I definitely give him a watch.
For sure, yeah. And if for some reason you're out there, hi. We love you.
Welcome, by the way.
Yeah.
And if you're not him, go check him out.
For sure,
definitely.
And just a small little footnote. If you are him, just like you could hit us up. We're open to do something. You want to be on TNF. You want to like play a game. We're down for whatever.
We're pretty open. If you
I mean, what? Yeah, no. Cool guy. Check him out.
Yeah. Yeah, he is very...
Yeah, for sure. So I guess now that's Stryder, what have you been playing? What's happening with you? Because you are quite frankly a gamer. So
I have a very interesting habit when it comes to gaming.
Yeah.
And it's I play one game at a time, and I get really into the game.
Mm-hmm.
And lately that's been some modded Minecraft, specifically Sky Factory 2.
Gotcha.
Yeah, what was that?
Oh, I was just gonna say, speaking of which, I should actually try and get my Minecraft working so I can actually play it. You know,
you so very should, man.
Hang out with boys.
Minecraft's great, honestly. Like,
yeah.
It's timeless.
Yeah,
it really is. And before I was playing Minecraft, I was playing some Ark Survival Evolved.
Dope. Dinosaurs.
Dinosaur.
I have heard good things about it, and I have it on Epic Games. The only problem is that it's like very.
I got it.
It's very large.
Yeah.
And you need a beefy computer.
Yeah.
But if you have those, if you can download it and play it, it's a good game.
Maybe I'll give it a go. We'll see.
I will be honest with myself and say that it is not the best game, but it is the only game that I have successfully have like 3,000 hours in.
Damn, that's a lot of hours.
Wow.
It's like that rivals my TF2 hours. Jesus.
Wait, how many hours do you have in TF2?
I don't know. Actually, it might be way more. I don't recall actually.
I only have like a couple. Like I think I have 100 hours of TF2.
TF2. I'm pulling up Steam right now. Let's fact check this.
I'm
555 hours. So like that's well beyond
my stats.
All right.
A second, I gotta open up Steam.
Speaking of large games, Gary's Mod, probably my favorite game of all time.
Yeah, for sure.
1,200 hours.
Damn.
Yeah, because I mean, you can do anything.
Yeah, it's a sandbox. It's a good time.
And two really quick things actually while we're waiting on our boy. Two things is one, I actually just requested the refund.
Okay.
Which I mean, it's sad to see it leave, but
arguably it will be for the better.
Yeah, and I mean,
what refund?
Omori.
Omori.
Oh,
yeah, we were just talking about it.
Stryder was like, huh? We was like, wait, I thought we were talking about Steam hours.
Yeah. And then
genuinely.
Second is I'll wait until you're done talking about like video game hours because it might be a bit of a switch.
Dude, switch it up.
That thing was, what's a game you guys really want to get?
Okay. I think at the moment I'm mostly content with the games I have, which is weird for me. Usually I have like the game I lust after and will one day play, but for right now I cannot, the forbidden fruit. But I think right now I'm kind of content. I've got Game Pass for a little while, so I've got a lot of games.
Dolphin game. You have the Dolphin game, dude.
I have Echo the Dolphin. Yeah, I have Echo the Dolphin on Sega Genesis in the box, man. I'm absolutely a gamer,
Now, for me, it's not out yet.
Yeah,
well, Diablo 4.
That's where I was gonna go with that actually. Is like the one that I'm really excited for is Psychonauts 2, but that's not out till August, so I've just been like sitting and waiting.
My Steam doesn't want to open, by the way, so.
Dang.
So.
Can't say my Steam hours.
Bummer.
It'll probably be very embarrassing, honestly, because of how much I play. I am a gamer.
Yeah. Diablo, that reminds me, I have to get into Diablo. It does look fun. That and Hades. Hades is one that's on Game Pass. I could install and play it. I'm just trying to make sure I finish a game and then I move on, Because I have Game Pass for a couple months, play it, finish it, move on, and I know Hades is gonna just eat my time.
Yeah.
Keegan, I want to tell you this. If you get Diablo, that is technically retro, so it fits your
Diablo what? You're
Diablo 2.
Okay, Diablo 2.
And if you want to get that, I own Diablo 2. Like, if you want to do some recordings of that.
Oh.
Multiplayer.
Oh.
I can
maybe.
I've never finished Diablo 2.
Who can say eyes emoji?
Maybe you guys can look forward to that in the future. Big maybe, though.
Big maybe, eyes emoji.
Because it is kind of out of my gimmick.
Yeah. For sure. Yeah, but what about you, Will?
So, one, this can pretty much be split into two subcategories. One is games that haven't come out yet, which I would say is Nirvana, Cyberpunk Bartending Action, which is a sequel to Valhalla, which is a game I genuinely like, one of the best games I've ever played.
For sure.
Some small game called Milk, outside a bag of milk. Repeat that like 3 times.
I am the milkman. My milk is delicious.
My milk is delicious.
dude, there better be a reference to that in Psychonauts 2. Like I know Rhombus of Ruin was in between. It was this cute little game, and Rhombus of Ruin's really cool. You should definitely check it out. It was PSVR, like between Psychonauts 1 and Psychonauts 2, and it's canon, which is the crazy thing. But like Psychonauts 1 has such a legacy that Psychonauts 2 needs to fulfill. So Milkman.
Before I continue going on my rant, Stryder, what were you gonna say?
Where does that come from? Knock on wood.
Actually, I do know where knock on wood comes from. This is really interesting. Knock on wood is a phrase. It comes from times where, like, pre-Christianity civilization. I forget what it's called, but where there's multiple gods. Is that paganism, or what is it like?
Yeah, it's paganism.
Yeah, it comes from paganism, where like specifically. I can't speak English. Specifically the belief that like there's a god in everything, or like a god that rules over everything. And so like knock on wood was like, like to thank the gods so they would continue to be merciful on you, and they didn't think that you were taking credit for their work. So like, this year's harvest is really good, knock on wood, thanks gods. You're pretty cool. So it's really morphed over time, but that's the origin of that. I actually picked that up in like freshman English. It was really, really cool.
Okay, a fun bit of like little bit of knowledge on the topic of like paganism and things like that, like those kind of cultures. The Greek god Hades.
Yeah.
I would sit down and have a pizza with that guy.
Honestly, yeah, dude. Straight up, Hades is cool.
Like, he is the most chill of the Olympians.
Which is weird, because he's like, dead.
Well, I mean, think about it. He deals with mortals the most, so he
exactly. He deals with mortal souls a lot. Yeah.
But most of the time they're crying about like, oh, I'm too young to die.
Yeah. But he also works with death, so he knows how to work with tough people.
The Fates. He works with the Fates.
The Fates. That's true too. Yeah. So like he knows how to deal with tough people and mortal souls. So like he would probably him or Hermes, because Hermes is the messenger. He's always the middleman anyway.
Yeah. Hermes deals with mortals a lot.
And he's also like the god of travelers and stuff. So I feel like
thieves.
Thieves. That's true. But even then, that he understands like the lower class people, because most of the time thieves are not upper class. So like
two Greek gods I would never want to come face to face with.
Okay, hit me with it.
Apollo and Zeus.
Yeah, I was gonna Zeus got to be one.
Medusa, because if I'm going face to face, I'm going stone.
I mean, she's not a god, but yes, nobody wants to go face to face with Medusa.
Yeah, I mean, she was cursed by one.
That's true. Yeah.
Although Gorgon, she's the only, if I remember correctly, one of the only like mortal Gorgons.
Yeah.
But just because you're like not, or just because you're immortal does not make you a god.
Yeah, exactly, for sure.
And nymphs are a really good example of that.
Yeah, I do get where you're coming from about like you don't want to have. Yeah, Zeus would just straight up like he'd either screw you like a rabbit, or he would just not understand what's going on and wield ultimate power. And Apollo, dude, he would have an arrow notched as you're holding the pizza. He'd be like, "Yo, what are you doing?"
Well, it's less about that and more of like his interact God specific Persephone, which I will not go into because I don't think we want this video to be demonetized.
Yeah, that too. Yeah,
and that's the main. He's also like, he has a bigger ego than me.
Yeah, well, exactly. Yeah, I think that's what I meant. I think that's a much better. I realize I didn't really say what I meant super well there. It's like that sense of like if he were to have his ego mildly threatened in any way, like you'd be like, "Yo, I got the pizza." He's like I couldn't get it. I'm a god. Like fucking arrow through. Like
I mean, it's more reason than what's Apollo's sister's name?
Athena, right? Is that
no? Athena's
no, yeah, she's
wisdom and battle strategy.
Yeah, wisdom. Who's the moon? Because Apollo's the sun. Who's the moon? I don't remember.
Artemis.
Artemis. Yes, the hunt.
Doesn't even. The only excuse that she needs to put an arrow between your eyes, is you're a man.
Yeah, you're not a woman.
Really quickly,
shoot.
If you don't mind cycling back to the wish list thing.
Dude, the premise of this show is that we just jump around like a bunch of buffoons. Let's cycle. Let's cycle like the Tour de France in reverse.
Yeah. But yeah, I was talking earlier about milk outside a bag of milk.
Yes, and I cut you off with the milkman. I'm so sorry.
It's fine. It was pretty funny. It was some indie game. I don't even know what to call it. It's a visual novel. I was browsing through them and I found it interesting.
I think I'm looking at the timer, and we've been going for a little while here. So I think that's going to be the end of the episode.
Oh, that's right.
I do actually have one more thing to finish up on.
Okay, yes, absolutely, Stryder. Closing thoughts.
I feel like it's a burning question that everyone's going to be asking.
Yeah.
What position do we all play in Bed Wars?
Bomber.
None. I don't have Minecraft.
Archer.
Beautiful. And with that, thank you for tuning in.
Thank you for watching, guys. Have a good evening or morning or whenever you watch this, whatever time it is right now for you. Have a good one.
Yeah, have a good remainder of your not sleep. Have a good time. Thank you for tuning into this troubleshooting. And now back to your regularly scheduled program.